The rise of social media has brought forward digital spaces as a new point of convergence for fandoms. Without being within physical distance of each other, people with the same interests can gather, have discussions, and engage with their passions. Yet, in the context of K-pop fandoms, one particular form of social media seems to be mystified, neglected, and regarded as the pinnacle of Korean fans' general opinion at the same time. And that would be K-pop fan communities. If you have been anywhere near the K-pop fandom in recent years, you would probably have encountered articles or tweets that state Pan or the Coup as their sources. Especially with the recent erasure of the comment sections in many news sites, fan communities have become a way for international fans to conclude the general opinion of Korean fans on the issue. So what exactly are Korean online fan communities? Well, let's get into it. Short disclaimer, this analysis and observation is based on only my experience and opinions alone. Experiences with these online communities might differ from one user to another. A community originally refers to a group bound together through geographical means, people living in the same area and such. However, the development of the internet has led to the emergence of communities that preceded geographical bounds. Online community, or what most of us call online forums, is a space for sharing interesting information and building new relationships. It first emerged in the late 1980s, yet it wasn't until the late 1990s that it spread like wildfire in South Korea. Since then, the scope of online communities has expanded and diversified, from ones based on universal characteristics such as regions and schools, to niche-specific online communities that are based on less universal topics. Douglas Thomas and Hwang Jusong broke down the differences of online communities and social networking sites through two main characteristics, which are the structure of the site itself and the behavior of the users. The structure of online communities and engagement of the users lend themselves to enhance the fandom experience. Thus, this points to online communities being a more conducive space when it comes to engaging in a specific interest with people who share the same mindset, discussing related topics, mobilizing to organize an event, and archiving relevant media. Online communities in general are very diverse. While there are public online communities with active communication, there are also members-only communities with only anonymous and passive users. Seo Gun-soo considered the motives of community users to divide online communities into three different types: entertainment-type communities, relationship-oriented communities, and information exchange communities. In this discussion, we will be mostly focusing on entertainment-type communities. There are four major sites that come up in conversations about K-pop, which are Pan, Instas, The Coup, and DC Inside or DC Gal. Starting off with Pan, it is a free open for public online community part of the NATE website, started in 2006. Pan is definitely the most known within international fandom circles, with most of its trending posts being translated into English by many different fan translators. It is mostly frequented by females in their teens and 20s, with categories ranging from home, culture, beauty, and more. They are most known on one hand for their Talk Talk section, which discusses trending issues and interesting stories of users' everyday lives. On the other hand, they also host the EnterTalk discussion board, which discusses Korean entertainment anonymously, with separate smaller rooms dedicated to each of the fandoms. One characteristic of Pan that stands out compared to the rest is that the posts and comments to a certain degree are quite exaggerated, due to its anonymous nature, especially when it comes to scandals and rumors. The site users definitely have their biases. It is definitely not the most radicalized out of the four, and in general, it is filled with more argumentative posts that spark heated discussions within a range of fandoms. At times, it does cause fandom wars, but most of the time, it serves as a way to see different perspectives. On the other hand, Instas is a members-only online community, established in 2009. Unlike Pan, it is mostly focused on idol fandom and discussions on current entertainment. This is also frequented by mostly females. Most of the discussion boards found here can be divided into two kinds, ones that display usernames and ones that are anonymous. Typically, viral issues are posted on a discussion board called Inti Portal, a general and non-anonymous board. Despite it, most fans converge in the Ikmyeong Yejap discussion board, an anonymous board that truly focuses on idols and Korean entertainment. Under the Ikmyeong Yejap board, there are smaller discussion boards for each of the fandoms, such that they can discuss with members of the same fandom. Other than that, as a fandom-focused site, Instas also offers services that enhance fandom activities, such as a celebrity video section, music release section, celebrity schedule section, and a summary of the major digital music streaming site charts. Instis is in fact a members-only site that requires users to pay upfront to use most of its features. However, almost all of the posts can be read by non-members, though features such as search and sort aren't available. Next to Pan, it is definitely not as known and readily available for international fans, but the environment of the site definitely lends to a more healthy and objective discussion on fandom. As a members-only site, it has implemented rules such as a no curse word and no hateful comments rule, which leads to more respectful discussions. Despite it, Instil still does engage in discussions about rumors and scandals, as well as inter-fandom topics, which keeps it interesting and informative, while also setting some much-needed boundaries. Moving on to DC Insight, which some may also call DC Gallery, a public online community founded in 1999, standing as the biggest Korean online community that exists today. Users range from teens to people in their 30s with no particular gender dominating, as the site doesn't only focus on fandoms. It includes a range of communities revolving around game, sports, people, broadcasts, and entertainment, with approximately around 3,000 galleries under each of those topics. The site is structured slightly differently from other online communities, as instead of general discussion boards with small specific ones under it, it is divided into what is called a gallery, a single discussion board for a particular niche interest. Some notable galleries in the fandom sphere are the Female Celebrity Gallery and Male Celebrity Gallery, which, as the name suggests, discusses celebrities of a particular gender rather than one collective entertainment section like other online communities. Another one that has become a phenomenon in itself is the Produce 101 Series Gallery, which stayed as a single gallery during the first 2 seasons, though during seasons 3 and 4 it has deviated into its own galleries respectively. Although the site has had a lot of influence on Korean internet culture, such as slang words and expressions, the prevailing argument is that it has been a bad influence overall, as it is highly radicalized from one gallery to another. Each gallery has a very diverse user base, but from an objective standpoint, it is generally antisocial and vicious due to its highly anonymous nature. Users have also displayed disturbing and toxic behaviors, such as hating on specific members, misogyny towards female idols, and hateful comments to a degree that can be considered defamation. Thus, it is the most polarizing out of the 4 galleries. Last but not least is The Coup, which is a members-only fandom-focused online community established in 2012. It was first established as a J-pop fandom-focused community, but since then has diversified and now mostly welcomes all kinds of pop culture fandoms. As such, with Instis, it is a closed community, where non-members can still access the posts made on it, though it differs in that one cannot buy a membership and needs to wait for the admins to open a registration period, which does not have a set date. Because it advocates a community for fans by fans, there are quite a lot of detailed discussion boards for various fandoms, a total of 36 discussion boards including the more general fandom board. The general discussion board is called Square, a place where users share a variety of hot topics on the internet. There are 2 subsections, issues and rumors, and information and press. Discussions more focused on K-pop usually occur on the K-Doll Talk, and specific discussion boards dedicated to each of the fandoms. As it is the newest out of the 4, it doesn't quite get the recognition the others do, but it does not mean that it is a bad site. It is the cleanest or in a way the most sterile from rumors and negative comments out of the bunch, but is still a prominent site as a lot of fans tend to provide information on broadcasts, releases, and even share download links. In conclusion, K-pop fan or fandom-focused online communities are places where fans of K-pop gather through the common need of collecting and sharing information on their favorite idols and groups. They are not in a way a replacement of social networking sites, but they are just more in line in structure and user experience to benefit fans engaging with their respective fandoms. These different qualities found in each of the online communities create a different atmosphere for users that in a way influence the way they interact with the subject matter. They are not inherently the be-all or end-all of Korean K-pop fans' take on an issue. These fans have varying opinions based on which online community they are engaged with, and of course which specific K-pop group they are a fan of. All of them do provide a great insight on K-pop related topics, and a great amount of media resources. But in that sense, they are not any more credible or significant than your standard YouTube video or Twitter thread. I would like to end this video by saying that in recent times, these communities has also sort of become a space for people who were victims of alleged misconducts done by idols to come forward about their experiences, as the anonymity provided by these sites help protect such victims from abuse of power, from the idol's agency, and threats from fans. Though once again, I do hope through this video we could all learn to exercise more caution with any piece of information we see online. Thank you for listening, and do like, comment, and share if you want a more in-depth explanation on each of the sites or a particular discussion or scandal per se that occurred on said sites. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.